myths that I would like to dispel about lawyers and law school. One is that we have too many lawyers. Two is that our system is only about disputes. And three, that law schools are not keeping pace with the changing world. So let's start with the first myth. There are too many lawyers. Let me tell you that's not true. That's patently not true. We need more lawyers. Let me say it again. We need more lawyers. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a dean of a law school and I want you to come to the University of Oregon. And join me in my 365-day challenge of wearing green and or yellow every day. I'm telling you that because I know that there are so many unmet legal needs in the world, right? Whether it's for low-income individuals, people in rural communities, the middle class, the entrepreneurs and innovators of today, we need more lawyers. Uber, how I got here today, needs more lawyers. Instagram needs more lawyers. Immigrants need more lawyers. YouTube needs more lawyers. Activists speaking out and working against injustices need more lawyers. Fantasy football needs more lawyers. Every corner of the world that you can think about, individuals who are accused of crimes, who can't afford representation, need more lawyers. Google, Apple, Nike, they need more lawyers. Now, how many of you know anything about the University of Oregon? Okay, what do you know? Football team is pretty good. Yes, on the way to Pac-12 championship. Yes, I saw it over here. Yes. Go Ducks! That's good. Nike sponsors their uniforms. The founder of Nike, Phil Knight, went to, along with Tom Bowerman, went to the University of Oregon. What you probably don't know is the law school is named after Phil Knight's father. Right, so a lot of times people think that Phil Knight and the University of Oregon is all about sports, and we do love our sports, but we also love education. So the law school is housed in the William W. Knight Law Center, right? And so, but I hope you get the picture. We need more lawyers, and we need to look good in green and yellow. Okay, so the second myth I want to bust here is that law is only about solving disputes. Yes. Law and the lawyers are essential to solving conflicts of all kinds in business and family and politics, and we're certainly essential to the criminal justice system. Conflict is a normal part of our lives, and it exists everywhere. It's one of the greatest barriers to our progress and our success. Right? So I'm going to talk today a little bit about Oregon law and a little bit about every law school. Right? So this is one thing about Oregon law, is that we have a top 10 nationally ranked program in alternative dispute resolution, or ADR. Right? And what does that mean? What that means is that there are many more creative ways to solve disputes than going to court. So we have a Center for Negotiation and Conflict Management to train our law students to be able to use more tools than just a lawsuit to reach just outcomes. We also have a master's degree in conflict resolution, and so that you can have a joint degree, if you desire, with the JD and the master's in conflict resolution. But as I said, lawyers do a lot more than that. We are advisors. We are counselors. A legal education, it helps you to advance not only your individual goals, but our societal goals. With a legal education, you will have the critical thinking and creative problem-solving skills to advance the work of this society. We hold corporations accountable, organizations, individuals, and governments. And I tell our students that lawyers have a seat at every table, whether it's the boardroom or the courtroom. Now, sometimes you may need to bring your own chair to that table, right? But you have a place there. The third myth I want to deal with is that we have not evolved in our thinking about the way to educate law students. Because every law school is operating differently than it did a decade ago, for example. And right now is the time of the year that we're all trying to convince each other that we're the best law schools in the country in preparation for U.S. News and World Report voting. Right? So I know a lot about what's happening at other schools, and we're all doing a lot more, for example, in the area of experiential learning. So it's not that we're going to school and you're being lectured about cases all the time, but we're providing lots of opportunities for you to practice those skills. What will it be like as a lawyer? So at Oregon Law, for example, we have 6 legal clinics where students under the supervision of professors get to represent real clients with real problems. And that includes domestic violence, environmental issues, small businesses, you name it, the whole gamut. And that extends to those externship or internship opportunities where you can practice in business, nonprofit, health law, energy, tax, intellectual property, real estate, and so much more. I was talking to a young lady earlier and she said, "What do you do in Oregon? It's about timber, right?" Mm-hmm. Yes, that is the historical work and industry of Oregon, but that's not what it is today, right? So back to Phil Knight, that great benefactor of the University of Oregon. He gave us $500 million a couple years ago. That's with a B. $500 million. We asked for $1 billion. And he said, well, let's see what you do with $500 million, and then we'll talk again. But he gave us that for a Center for the Acceleration of the Advancement of Scientific Knowledge. And what he said about this $500 million is, I want you to create solutions that move to the market. He's like, I don't want you to just be there gazing at your own navels, right? I want you to be doing things that solve real problems in our world today, right? And so that's what's happening in Oregon. We also have a course in your first year for professional planning. And that course is designed to help you navigate the traditional legal practice as well as things outside of the traditional practice, right? And so that includes coaching sessions and one-on-one work and classroom work, all of these things to help prepare you for the professional and business realities of the practice of law. Now, I started out saying we need more lawyers. And I talked about all the ways in which we do need lawyers and where we need them. But I want to add a little nuance to that argument. And that is that we need more lawyers as leaders. We need to be intentionally training lawyers to be leaders. And so I'm very proud that at the University of Oregon, we have an endowed leadership program, right? Because traditional legal education and indeed the reward structures of legal practice have not placed enough value or spent enough time on building our actual capacities to lead, right? We know that our graduates will be expected to lead in their respective professions and communities, right? I'm at church, something comes up. She's a lawyer, right? Ask her, right? It's gonna happen. And so we want to actually train our students to learn those skills that will provide lifelong success. So we have lectures and workshops, we have weekend leadership retreats, we have read to lead dinners, which is like a book style thing, sessions with professors and the dean and students. They come to my house for dinner. I don't cook. There's a caterer, but we get together and we talk about real issues. How are we going to prepare ourselves to lead in these very real times, really difficult times? We offer personalized coaching sessions, mentor groups, and of course an actual course in leadership practices for professional success. We want to make sure that our students are ready, willing, and able to lead. So we need more lawyers. We need more lawyers as leaders. Now, at Convocation, every year, I challenge our entering students. And so I want to end here with a dare for you, whether or not law school ends up being part of your journey or not. right? So I dare you to take advantage of all the opportunities before you as you're doing right now. I dare you to be courageous. And that doesn't mean you're not going to be afraid at times, but I dare you to press on in spite of that fear. I dare you to disagree, and I dare you to change your mind. Talk with people of different backgrounds and different perspectives. Yes, you need to make up your own mind, but, resist that impulse to only associate with people who look like you, who think like you, who feel like you, and who have the same experiences as you do. Spend some time outside of those echo chambers in your life and think for yourself. Dare to speak up against injustice, wherever it occurs and on whatever scale you encounter it. And that could be speaking up about events in the world, or it might be speaking up about the way a classmate is being treated. Dare to listen. This is a tough one for me because I love the sound of my own voice. But I find that I learn much more, and I can be much more efficient and effective in achieving my goals when I pause and listen and try to understand others' perspectives, to hear others' stories. Dare to think for yourself. With a legal education, you'll be equipped to digest difficult text and assess complicated issues. And thinking for yourself doesn't mean that you're not going to be influenced by others. It just means you're going to make your own choices. Dare to feel and acknowledge the validity of what others feel. Dare to act. Don't be a bystander when you have something to offer. And don't worry that you can't solve the entire problem. Sometimes all we need in the face of a challenge is just for one person to take one step. And dare to be yourself. So you have heard, no doubt, this morning that law school is different, right? It's different from undergrad. And that's true. But I want all of you also to be confident that you've got what it takes. And be sure it's going to take all that you've got. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with the expression, to whom much is given, much shall be required. And from them to whom much is entrusted, much will be asked. Put another way, a legal education has transformative power. And as Spider-Man's Uncle Ben said, with great power there comes great responsibility. So you will be free with the law degree to do wondrous things in the world. Eleanor Roosevelt said, freedom makes a huge requirement of every human being. With that freedom comes responsibility. So wherever your next step in life might be, whether it's law school or not, I beg of you to summon all your courage, your good judgment, your integrity, and your dedication for that journey ahead. Whatever that step may be, dare to lead. Leonardo da Vinci said, I have been impressed with the urgency of doing. Knowing is not enough. We can teach you all the law there is to know. We need to apply it. Being willing is not enough. We must do. So my last dare for you is to check out the University of Oregon School of Law. Come join us. Oregon Law graduates drive positive change throughout the world. Oregon Law leads. Thank you.